Right in the heart of a silver bullet.
I think they plotting on man. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare.
The idea that what was legal 6 weeks ago is now a felony. So we got some kid driving around in Memorial who's 16 years old that, had some Delta 8 or whatever it was that gets stopped because he's forgotten or he's a dumbass or whatever, and he gets Barney on steroids who wants to jack him up and make a felon out of him. It's insane. Governor Hot Wheels, as he likes to call himself now, he's been a huge opponent of the legalization of THC and all that. I haven't looked at the campaign contributions, but I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you and suggest to you and predict to you and be the amazing Kreskin that he's had tens of millions of dollars or more from alcohol. In fact, I know he's had millions of dollars from alcohol distributors. And it's just, can as elected officials, whether you're whomever you are, can maybe we do something because it's right for the people as opposed to right for your pocketbook? But it's insane to me that we are criminalizing something that wasn't a crime yesterday and making it a felony because of contributions from the alcohol industry. That's exactly what's happening.
What's happening? This is talking about the Texas new marijuana law. I'm not into weed. I'm not into marijuana. No Mary Jane for me. But it's interesting because it looks like people are going to get overcharged. But it also looks like, they talk about like how the alcohol industry may have politicians in their pocket to actually reverse a law that was already passed because they're losing money with younger adults who are not really in alcohol. Then, for me, I look at this as, another kind of admission of, well, let me back up when I said it, not just an admission. I don't know, and it's messed up I have to say it this way. I don't know why white people are concerned. Y'all not going to get pulled over. Y'all not going to jail for that. And the reason I say that is because when it comes to illegal activity, especially when it comes to drugs, y'all really don't get in trouble. You have kids drinking underage and y'all have parties with underage kids all the time. Don't really get in trouble. Even, from high school to college campuses across America. Speaking of college campuses across America, the college is known, a lot of these colleges are known for being quote unquote party schools, which means there's a lot of alcohol, but more importantly, there's a lot of drugs. They don't get busted. Really don't. They don't get in trouble like that. So to me, this change of law is really just trying to put a felony on non-white people. And, what I would ask is, all of this fake probable cause is going to put some people in prison for a law that I don't, it is what it is. But I say this, it's probably going to backfire because if I'm not mistaken, the stuff that you get a lot of time for is not actually marijuana. It's the edibles, gummies, cookies, brownies type stuff, right? So that's not really, that's not really our thing from my understanding. So it's just going to be kind of a waste. Now, I'll make another point when I say this. Going back to what I said about, white Americans not going to get into trouble about this in Texas. They got THC alcoholic beverages out here. So how does that work out? You get what I'm saying? And nobody's going to get in trouble for that. Now, I guess people would be upset because of like all these like dispensaries or basically smoke shops or whatever. What are they going to do? Who knows? And then they tell people, oh man, people are going to have to go back to the streets. Whatever. And the reason I say whatever is because I don't think they put in. I don't think the penalty for actual marijuana is as big as the penalty for like edible marijuana, like I said, gummies and brownies and cookies and that type of stuff. So that's what's crazy. Now, for all you folks that you know that like to smoke, if you get caught smoking, 9 times out of 10, when I was going to the probable cause thing, they're gonna probable cause to the point they might bust in your house and find some edibles or plant some edibles to get you time. You know, that's a whole nother aspect. But and I'm gonna say this, like, school is about to start. So do you think like you think you're gonna hear kids at the University of Texas or Texas State or Baylor, SMU, Texas A&M, Texas Tech? You know, it's a lot of it's Rice. You know, it's a lot of UT, San Antonio, UTEP. You know, you think you gonna get a bunch of like people going to prison? I doubt it. I doubt it. You know, I seriously doubt it. The other thing, I don't know how to say this properly. That's why I paused. The thing that I would say about this is this: can we finally admit that drug use in America is normalized? You know, because what I mean by that is, you know, when white America does drugs, it's kind of looked over, like, it's not a big deal. You know, from marijuana to cocaine, the opioid epidemic. You know, I'm in Texas, so when people think about, they sip syrup in Texas, they're lean. You know, they got that lean from like white people, right? It was like it's prescription cough syrup. So who were the first people with that? White people. So just that concept of drug use, like, how many lawyers and doctors and even police officers have been partaking in extracurricular activities that are like, we gotta watch it. We gotta, don't get caught. But it's a consistent thing. Now, there's no nice way to say what I'm thinking. But ultimately, since crime has really been going down in America, especially in the quote unquote black community for decades, you got to make up a felony. You got to make up. We got to get these prisons full. We got to do something. We got to do something out here because these cats ain't going to jail like they used to. And I say that because with the 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 downtick of crime, you see other communities, their criminal activities are being not exacerbated, but you can't hide them. The media can't hide them that much. And even when the media hides it, excuse me, and covers it up, it's still a national story. Well, maybe a local story, and every now and then it becomes a national story. So, how are we going to get the propaganda machine back working? We gotta figure out a way to put people behind bars for something. Now, and the reason I said, it's a difficult task because Like, think about it. They pull people over and they got alcohol in their car, right? Cool. Open container, or you buying a, it's open container, or excuse me, or somebody buys a bottle from the liquor store, and you've seen a story, not really stories, but police officers open the bottle and then say it's an open container. You got people with drugs, drugs and drug paraphernalia in their car, but it's going to be more difficult with this because you're not really walking around seeing people with edibles just in their car. You get what I'm saying? That's not how that works. That's really not how that works whatsoever. So that's going to be a harder thing to do, and even a harder thing, in my opinion, to plant because, oh man, we caught this guy with 5 gummies, wrapped in aluminum foil. That's not how that go. You get what I'm saying? That's just not how that go. But that's just my 2 cents, Oh, and as I said in the beginning, the political aspect of this. That means you can make politicians make new laws, break new laws, enforce new laws. It looks like politicians once again are at the behest of corporations. So are these laws actually for the people, or are these laws actually for the conglomerates? So now I'm ending it. Tell me what you think. Catch you on the next one. Peace.